believe it was 1981. We got a call. I guess my dad called and talked to my mom. They were divorced at the time. I guess for about 3 or 4 years at the time. We were living in Maelstrom Air Force Base in Montana. My mom had remarried. My mom got this call from my dad. And it was a few minutes long, and she got done, and she came back. I think it was in my sister's room. And she told myself and my sister. My sister's older than me. She's about 3.5 years older than me. And she told us that our grandfather had died. Now, the year before, we had seen my grandfather for only the second time I could remember. I believe he was in his early to mid 50s. He had a stroke. He was in the hospital for several weeks. My mom's mother went to see him because she was in Michigan at the time. And he said, Bobby and Stacy, my name's Robert. My grandfather's name was Robert the First. My father's the second, and I'm the third. So going back to my story, my grandma went to see my grandfather on my dad's side, the one that had the stroke. And she said, Bobby and Stacy are thinking about you. And he just started crying. Because I think he knew that his days were coming to an end. 10 days later, he died in the hospital. I believe it was in the hospital from the complications of the stroke. See, my grandfather worked himself into the ground. He drank quite a bit, but I think it was really the working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, 78 hours a week for years on end. I believe he worked for a business, a furniture company or something, and I think he was either the manager. I don't remember exactly what his job was, but he worked himself into the ground. Recently, my father has some medical issues I didn't know about for a couple years. We don't talk a lot until recently. He was in Michigan, now he's in Wyoming. And he sent me his lab results to look over. I told him 3 or 4 things. And he told me, you might be watching this, Dad, but I think this is really important for you to listen to too. He told me, that's a lot of information you gave to me. It's going to be difficult. Let's see what I can do. In other words, I'm not sure if I can do all these things that you recommend. When we put our health second or third, like my grandfather did, we don't live a long, prosperous life. We also have to think about, what are we leaving our family? See, every single person in this world is a teacher. The way you live your life is how you teach people. By your example. People are watching you all the time. They're listening to your words. They're watching you walk. They're watching you in your life. They're listening to what you tell them about your life, either in the absence or the presence of them. So all of us should be an example of health, because we all have in common as a human body. And if you're a person of faith, you have a spirit, a soul. So what are your grandchildren? What are your children? What are they seeing when you're not taking care of yourself? They might be doing the same thing. They might overwork themselves. They might be eating a bunch of junk and crap. What are you feeding them when the grandchildren come over? Remember, we're all a teacher. Not only is God watching us, but everybody is watching us, either consciously or unconsciously. What are we teaching the world? There's so much division in the world. There's so much sickness. We have an opportunity to change that. Each individual has an opportunity to change that. Hopefully wisdom takes over your life to a certain extent, when you start living the best life possible. Because otherwise you're living on the surface. We're superficial. There is so much more to life than what you can see. Every single one of you, no matter how great or what kind of struggle you're going through, you can get through it. I'm a testimony to that, so are many others. I've seen the darkest of dark with my illness in 2011, then I made it through. I asked for help and I got help. And I've dedicated my life to serving people since then. And that's what some people are watching if they decide to be a part of my life. So Dad, if you're watching this, please take care of yourself and start doing the things I recommend, and don't put your health second like your father did, like your mother did, and like your sister did, and several other people in the family. It's time for us to start living and taking care of the temple, the body. It's time for us to be present. It's time for us to have the courage to do so. Have a blessed day, everybody. Thank you for listening.